Hello and good evening, everyone. We are back for our fireside chat to discuss workout 24.2. It was released today. I'm going to read it to you correctly this week. As many rounds and reps as possible in 20 minutes of a 300-meter row, 10 deadlifts, and 50 double unders. Our deadlifts for women will be at 125 pounds. Our men's deadlift weight is 185. Coach Joe, head coach Joe, please talk us through how you would game plan this workout.
Yes, absolutely. So it kind of depends on what your strength is in this workout. We have a relatively short, compared to what we are used to, row. We have a moderately weighted deadlift, and then we have some double unders. So again, it kind of depends on what your strengths are. If that deadlift weight is moderate for you or on the lighter side, I say we're looking at rolling through that unbroken when you get off of those deadlifts. If double unders are in the bag for you, then we're going to go roll through those double unders, whether they are a strength for you or not. Key here is going to be breaking those double unders before you have to. Okay. If you can get 50 double unders unbroken every single time, absolutely go for it. But if you're still struggling with 50, break before you miss a rep. All right. That's going to keep you in this workout mentally and emotionally. Okay. Then for most of us, the key for this row is going to be slowing down, okay, taking your time and breathing through that smooth rhythm on the rower. Okay. That point is not the time to drive your heart rate through the roof. Okay. Stay smooth and steady on the rower. Okay. And you will set yourself up for success when you get off, hit your deadlifts, and move into the jump rope.
Okay, that is all great advice. Coach Amy, you happened to have already completed this workout. Would you say what Joe just advised rang true? Did you follow that methodology? What did you do that worked well? What did you do that you would do differently if you did it again?
So I agree with him 100%. The hardest part for me was the rower and staying consistent on it. The deadlift weight was no problem. I was able to do most of my sets of double unders unbroken, and I only started to trip at the end. So for me, the hardest part was the rower.
Okay. Pat, you seem like you're pretty comfortable with the rower right next to you. Give us some tips on how to stay consistent on the rower. So if our goal is to be consistent, how do we meet that goal?
Well, again, it depends on the type of rowing workout you're doing. But for this one, again, the reason last week was the dumbbell. This week, I'm sitting with my friend rower because we really have to take it easy on her. That's why I'm sitting here, caressing and, being very gentle. But at the end of the day, the difference between rowing at a 2-minute pace and a 150 pace, and that's the time per 500 meters if you're used to looking at that screen, is not going to make a huge difference for you in that workout. But anyone who has done the difference between 150 and 2 minutes knows that 150 feels way harder and your heart rate is going to shoot through the roof, right? So you really have to have good control over what your pace is on a rower. And you probably want to take the first 5 to 6 minutes of this workout. It should feel like, am I going too slow on the rower? That's how controlled and steady you should be on the row. Because if you spike your heart rate here and if you start running out of gas, that's really going to impact your ability. If the deadlift is heavy for you, if double unders start to get sketchy when you're tired, that's going to be way more detrimental, screwing up those movements than it is to be a little slower than you think on the rower, right? Even pushing it on the row is only going to save you so much time. Whereas, failing reps on the double unders is going to cost you much more dearly in terms of completing this workout. So be gentle with your rower. Take it easy on her. She's here to help you along the way. Okay. That's why I'm sitting here.
I mean, I'll add real quick. Like smooth is fast. I mean, just like I was judging Amy, and like it seemed like she was going slow, but she was never out of control with her breath, and she was smooth and getting it done. at a good pace. So that's what we do.
Okay. Matt, do you have any advice after watching Amy go through it on your grip and how to make sure that the grip does not become a detriment in this workout?
Oh yeah. My goal, it's going to get grippy, and that's, I know, maybe saying a lot of the forearm, a lot of grip. You kind of have to find your rest in between. Like, so I'm going to try to come off the rower, take a second, because I want to go in broken for 185 is not heavy, but it can get heavy over the time, and it's 20 minutes. So I want to make sure my hands are ready. I can knock the 10 out. Then I walk over to the double unders, and I don't want to strip double unders. And if my hands are sore or just real, like, so I want to shake it off, take a few seconds, and then I want to hit those double unders and try to make sure that I get all 50. That's, and then just kind of just keep moving and keep making sure I have not long breaks, but enough, because you're going to be moving between the equipment. I think that'll be plenty of time to kind of just get your grip back and loosen it up a little bit.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, and that is pee. I was texting with the 4 of you today, and I said, how many of you have received panic texts today? And some of you have, but I think I got the most, probably because I'm the motherhood strong girl. But so many of you were like, I'm going to pee my pants. And I'm just here to say that that is super common. You're not going to fix peeing your pants and double unders in the workout tomorrow or this weekend. It's a long term thing that you work on consistently. I'm also not going to sit here and lie to your face and tell you that I'm not going to pee my pants. It's something that I still battle with. And so if you are in that boat tomorrow, don't be alarmed. It's something that we can work on. Some things that I would recommend that you do keep in mind to just like keep that under control is form. Are your ribs stacked over your hips? Are you calm? Are you relaxing your traps down? And are you breathing? My method tomorrow is going to be short, small, consistent sets. When I do double unders in class, I struggle always trying to not pee. So I always do sets of like 10 to 12 because that's the number that I can maintain and not pee. Now, knowing that I can do that in class and translating that to a competition, I know that it's likely that I'm going to hit muscle fatigue with my pelvic floor. And it's also likely that I'm going to let the competition spirit kind of take over and the pee is going to happen. And I'm just here to say, like, don't be embarrassed. It's okay. We will clean. We have mops, and like, it might be a pee fest, and Pee Fest 2024. It'll be a great time. Now that's also to say, like, I don't recommend training like that in every workout of every week. Like, that's not how I train all the time, because that's not my goal all the time, right? But my goal tomorrow is just to do well on this specific workout for the leaderboard. So if you are kind of confused about the messaging behind that, please feel free to reach out to me and I will help you, because I thoroughly enjoy helping women not pee themselves, myself included. Okay, on that note.
On that note, if you don't mind, I just want to add one other thing, especially for, a lot of the guys and girls who are used to some of the open deadlift weights that are at 225 plus in other workouts. A lot of you might be excited, like, oh, this weight is lighter than I'm used to in an open workout, right? Like, a lot of guys might look at 185 and say, yeah, this is going to be pretty movable. And you're probably right. But what you have to watch out for in a 20-minute workout is it's still a ton of deadlifts, right? So we're going to do a really thorough job warming that up tomorrow. We want to make sure that that form doesn't get sloppy, because again, when you're in your head and this is light, it's really easy for you to get about the proper bracing, the proper control and stability you need. And by, 15, 16 minutes in, your lower back might be paying the price for some sloppy technique, thinking the weight is too light, right? So we're going to spend a lot of time on that, but don't get tricked into abandoning your technique just because it's a lighter weight than you're used to here.
Okay. I did also want to address the scaled option of the workout quickly. Some of the texts that I was receiving were like, hey, I can do some double unders, but not consistently. Sometimes I do single, double, single, double. What do I do? And my recommendation is, if your goal is to be higher on the leaderboard, to do the workout RX and communicate with your judge. Hey, I don't have consistent double unders. You're really going to have to listen for my rope spinning twice. I'm going to attempt single, single, double. My doubles are sporadic, etc. And it is your judge's job to judge that well. So if you know that you might be a tricky human to watch double under, perhaps you find a judge with a keen ear and a keen eye for that. That being said, the scaled workout is an amazing workout in and of itself. I believe it's 50 single unders. Excuse me. And that's a great option. I'm going to just verify that quickly. Single unders, yeah. And then the weight for women is 95. The weight for men at scaled is 135. So don't be afraid to scale this workout to single unders and lighter weight. The row remains the same. It's still going to be awesome. So
yeah.
If the double unders are the hang up for you and not necessarily the weight, I would still do RX and I would do as many attempts as you can and enter that score RX because it will put you higher on the leaderboard.
Yep.
Okay. Any last words, team, on advice or recommendations that we can give?
Have fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got the jitters out last week, right? It was the first open workout. I've been doing this for 10 years. I always get butterflies before the first one, but now we're in it, right? So this is just another workout. Push yourself, have some fun with it, listen to your coaches, and let's do it.
Yeah.
I-
Do it.
So ready for a rig workout, but maybe we'll get it next week.
Wait, let me put this on the record for everyone. I almost guarantee I would put money on the fact that next week is going to be very Fran-like. So expect thrusters and rig work next week. Maybe 18.5, maybe 22.3. We'll see what's happening.
I also wanted to say when Patrick was talking, he was talking about the screen on the rower. And if you were unsure of any of the things that he was saying, like your 500 meter, whatever, we will cover that for you tomorrow if you're unsure what he was discussing. So I know that big noggin of his, he says real smart things sometimes. So we'll decipher for you. And Pat, it's true. Don't roll your eyes. Okay. On that note, good night, everybody. And we are so excited to move with you tomorrow. Have a good night. Get good rest.
Be gentle.
Night.
Bye.
Stop stroking that rower.
It's sexy.